So many people, it seems, are under the impression that the NHS is on its way to being privatised. Many NHS doctors and nurses have got themselves so worked up over the idea that they've even set up a Keep Our NHS Public campaign with its own website and everything. They're really putting their heart and soul into it. And that's weird, right? Because most people would quite rightly conclude that any government that decided to privatise the NHS would be hit by such a wave of opposition that they'd be immediately kicked out of power, right? Everyone loves the NHS, and everyone wants to keep the NHS, so what's all the worry about? Though it's true that privatising the NHS will never be an overt policy goal of any political party, scrap-free healthcare won't be a slogan you'll see anybody in their right mind running on. The problem is that just because nobody wants something to happen doesn't mean that it won't. As you might have noticed when it comes to climate change, just because everybody wants something to happen doesn't mean it will either. Because what tends to happen, or not happen as the case may be, is dictated by an economic and political reality that certain policy positions coming out of certain ideological positions that accede to certain economic forces bring about. Get what I'm saying? No? Okay. For example, do you remember when the government passed a bunch of laws that allowed every different type of career path, everything from being a builder to being an academic, to be absorbed into the 0-hour contract gig economy, where everyone is self-employed and no one gets a pension or holidays or sick pay or anything? Do you remember when they brought that in? Do you remember any discussions or campaigning on the issue? No? Well, nor do I, because there wasn't any, right? What happens is that we just kind of gradually fall into these ways of working, fall into these situations, almost as if it were just the natural progression of things, almost as if it's nothing to do with government policy, almost as if it's inevitable.